I guess we could start with some more celebrities crying, which I enjoy. Possibly being put in internment camps. Is that what I heard?
Oh yeah.
We could only hope.
I know. I'm like, not entirely against it for celebrities, but let's.
Well, let's start with our favorite.
This nut job. Holy crap.
Carrot Top looking rough. No.
Oh, boy.
It's been a few 7 years since my Trump decapitated head photo scandal, where I was on the no-fly list and the Interpol list, and now he's going to be president again, and I'm on the enemies list. So come see me before I'm in one of those internment camps.
What is unironically hysterical and truly evil about all this is that Kathy Griffin is the kind of person who during COVID wanted Americans put in internment camps wanted to ensure that nobody could leave their home.
Yep.
And that nobody could get bread for their children. And if you didn't get the experimental therapeutic, that you had to be locked up. And they were in favor of that, actually, for anybody watching in Australia right now, and I know there's plenty of FNT fans from Australia, including but not limited to some people that are actually live with us right now, they did do the effing camps. They actually did create internment camps.
So I know many of you in the audience might be asking, Kathy Griffin, why is she famous? I don't know. I've never known her entire career.
I think it was her and Joan Rivers doing Fashion Police really helped her. And then she had a show, My Life on the D List. She was actually in Seinfeld.
Yeah, she played herself.
Yes.
A horrible comedian.
Yes.
She pretends to be a victim, but she's not. She doesn't know what it's like to actually have shows canceled. She's never been canceled.
Well, she just canceled her own shows recently, Chrissy. Sorry to interrupt you because she couldn't sell any tickets, but please continue.
That's different. That's different than having somebody call a venue and get your gig canceled. Not filling the crowd is one thing, but people stopping you from even trying that's real cancellation. She's never felt that. She's pretending she's a victim now by saying, "Oh God," but she's fine. She's gonna coast along. And I'm sure she can shake down some boomers to go see her.
I wish Trump was the person that they all claim he is. I wish he was that guy. I wish he was just going to lock them all up. I wish he would just be a freaking dictator. But he's not. He's not the guy that they claim he is. But I wish he was so that he could just take care of the trash. They're all horrible people. And the reason that they're able to get away with saying the shit that they say is because he's not the person they claim he is. Because if he was the person they claim he is, they couldn't say what they were saying about him, and they would never dare say what they're saying about him.
Y'all proved, it's just like something I wanted to get off my chest here. Y'all proved in this election that celebrities no longer matter, and it's only because I didn't get nervous this election with the Taylor Swift endorsement, with Lizzo, right? Like, is it freaking,
Beyonce,
the Chinese spy balloon, right, to bring in Lizzo, Beyonce, Jay-Z, Eminem. I don't know if Eminem is actually Ellen DeGeneres. I'm not sure. They look exactly the same these days. All of these people, also Eminem up there bitching about how Trump will take away freedom of speech and maybe censor him, when that is exactly what Joe Biden's administration has been doing to all of us. It's just like this Kathy Griffin story. It's like they will literally accuse you of the things that they're doing. And then Eminem, this freaking fraud. This dude goes and makes his entire career on hating Dick Cheney. In multiple bars about how evil Dick Cheney is. And then he stands on stage to endorse Dick Cheney. He links arms with Dick Cheney to endorse Kamala Harris. This is exactly, Dick Cheney endorsed Kamala Harris. Dick Cheney's daughter was going to be Secretary of Defense in Kamala Harris' administration.
The truth is, we don't need to imprison these people as punishment. They are in a prison of their own minds right now.
Yes.
They are freaking out. They're having mental breakdowns just because someone else is going to be president. That is all the punishment that these people need, to see them flounder and to realize that they've failed, that no one listens to them at all, that they don't have the influence that they thought they had. That is the worst punishment you could inflict on these people, is to make them realize they're no longer.
Never interrupt your opponent when they're melting down or making a mistake. Let him go.
Existing as Kathy Griffin is punishment enough.
That is punishment enough.
I don't believe that they actually believe what they're saying. Like, if they actually thought that Trump was like a mid-century German, then they would react far stronger than they currently are. Yeah. Suddenly, the moment he got voted in, there was a bit of meltdown, but they no longer think that they may say they're going to that, but they're not panicking in that kind of way.
They're going
I think
to
a lot of it is. I think a lot of it is just like
they're going to dinner with Hitler.
Yeah, exactly. You would be reacting far stronger, but this is more like it's the next level of virtue. Suddenly, it's just stolen heroism. You can only be a hero if you sacrifice something, so they have to feel like they're oppressed. They have to say that I'm the one taking the risk.
That's what moving to the UK is. It was taking an arrow for everyone.
They all moved in like a week. It's like
and they all moved already planned. Okay, aside from Ellen DeGeneres, they all moved there because that's where everything's being made for tax breaks too. Let's not forget that. But also, I've talked about with the adult pretender, and I call them adult pretenders because they're pretending to be adults when they get off script. When they have words that aren't written for them and they have to think them on their own, they have a really fucking hard time being human, right? And you're right, Disbrew. Most of it is performative. They're just going along to keep getting work in this fucking echo chamber that's Hollywood. But there are some who are believers, man, true fucking believers.
Like the Mark Ruffalos of the world, people like that. And and just for the record, like I would not want to go to dinner with Hitler. He's a vegetarian.
Oh, right.
So Mark Ruffalo, Chris Evans, Mark Hamill, some of those vocal left-wing actors. And I'm not saying that there aren't bigger stars that don't get political, but some of the most vocal ones are people that really don't. They're not real movie stars.
No.
So they need
George Takei.
They need to try. So they need to become relevant in a different way. Because, like there's a reason that Tom Cruise doesn't talk about things. Chris Pratt. I know Harrison Ford kind of passively put his support behind, but it's Harrison Ford. He got paid. He'll do whatever. Harrison Ford will come in here and say MAGA if we give him enough money, okay? He doesn't
I think if we offer him a bag of weed, he'll say it.
Oh, he would 100%.
MAGA.
Well, that's the conversation, right? That's like how many of these people got paid and how many people are just true believers? Because I think both are true.
Yeah.
So here we go. Americans want to hear less about politics from public figures. Why it matters. After an election season where the endorsements from celebrities frequently made news, the survey found Americans are more likely to disapprove than approve of celebrities. Big companies and athletes sounding off on politics. A celebrity is entitled to their opinion. If they want to clap back on some policy or something like that, I'd go ahead. I don't care. But when you start blanketly telling half the country to fuck off like Mark Hamill did, that's when we start having a problem. And they became very comfortable in doing that over the last, 8 years, 10 years? Like however long this has been going on now. Yeah. It's debatable.
They usually got a massive standing ovation, like if Trump. Well, you just
Oscar.
So brave.
Let me derail this entire award ceremony so I could spew some crap on top of it. That was just applauded for so long, and they were in that bubble.
I was trying to think of Regina King, the star of Watchmen, the show that was so popular it was canceled. She came out, was it Academy Awards, right? She's all, I know you don't want us to get political, but we're going to get political. And then it was the lowest rated Oscars ever.
Wow.
Weird how that happens.
What was it she said? I almost turned in my dress shoes for marching boots or whatever.
Marching boots.
God, shut up.
It's like you live in a $6 million mansion. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
The Marvel Avengers endorsement of Kamala Harris.
Oh, yeah.
Where they're all in mansions. You can see them. They're all in mansions in the mountain.
Yeah.
Like every single one of them is filming on their phone, and it was from a palatial mansion that has mountainous ravines in the backyard.
Yeah. There's nowhere they could angle their camera to make them look like they weren't doing well.
Like a pour. Yeah.
Remember late night guys when they did their podcast? They all went into their laundry rooms to look.
I think the most disconnected one was it Madonna in her bath with pedals saying how tough the lockdowns was on
Oh
it?
no! Ellen DeGeneres felt like she was in prison. She was in her fucking palatial mansion in her living room that you could fit your fucking house in. Yeah.
Imagine all the people.
Take responsibility. Take responsibility.
Rachel Ziegler during the writers' strike, if I have to wear a Disney princess dress and get paid millions of dollars, Hey, lady, my daughters wear Disney princess dresses for free all day long, and they don't get paid anything, and that's actually most girls' dreams.
My favorite part was Tatiana Maslany going after Bob Iger during the strike, and then all of a sudden, oh, no more She-Hulk. She's gone.
I still blame she's erased. That's what killed it.
It feels like reality is reasserting itself. It's a wonderful thing. And reality is the undisputed champion. It always wins.
It does all. You're absolutely right, Benny. They've been pushing against, the last 4 years have been pushing against culture, like what culture actually wants. And they've been trying to force things on us. Like that's what we've complained about in Star Wars and all the things we've talked about is we're not entertaining ideas. We're forcing ideas on you in scripts now. We're just fucking sick of it. You know, we don't want to hear it from a bunch of fucking rich people who make pretend. Just entertain us. Dance, monkeys. Okay, that's what you're supposed to do. You work in a circus. Shut up and dribble. Shut up and act. You know, that's it. You're lying to yourself if you thought any of this over the last 4 years was good. Like, none of it was fucking great. And we somehow survived. Thank God. But look at how fucked up the world got. You know, that's why when people got mad at James Gunn for showing a bloody Superman, and he said, well, that's our country right now. Well, he wasn't wrong. You can get mad about him showing it in the fucking trailer, but he's not wrong. Our country got fucking punched in the mouth a lot. And now we need to get back up, and it's fucking not over. Like, it's definitely a win. The culture war, is it over? I think the appetite of collectively of the country for most of them is like, we're done with this shit. We're tired of fucking hearing about it. But does that mean Hollywood and the powers that be in Silicon Valley, who I don't trust any of them, are not going to just regroup, rename, get smarter? Yes, they are. Of course. We got to be ready for that. This is not something that ends like overnight.
Please, if you don't mind, if I ask a few questions. One, based on reporting that I've heard, there is a great palpable fear of the Epstein List or the Diddy List in Hollywood now that Kash Patel would presumably be in charge of the FBI, and that's where an enormous amount of the evidence is. That played out? Have you guys seen that reporting? Have you done any of the report?
I don't know if it specifically is anything surrounding the announcement of Kash, but I think just in general, even before that, the realization with the way everything was shifting, and especially once it seemed like the Diddy stuff was going to stick, I 100% think that a lot of people were trying to distance themselves.
Absolutely. There's a palpable fear of, I'm not saying everyone did something, but just being at those parties now puts a target on you.
Well, there's a clip that I've played several times on Cobra Cast, and it's Usher when he was on The View.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. And they were all trying to bully Usher into taking a political position, and he wouldn't take a political stand. And then about a month later is when Diddy got arrested. And then a few days later, Usher's entire Twitter account gets wiped, and he claimed that it got hacked. And then a month later, Usher shows up at a Kamala Harris rally, and someone says, "I love you, Usher." And he goes, "I love you too, but I love Kamala Harris even more." And I'm like, holy shit, that is out there.
Wow.
And that is one of the most obvious examples right there of someone panicking because they think, like, if Trump gets in office, then we're going to get exposed. Because he was sitting there with all of these cowls on The View trying to bully him into taking a stand. And he was just like, listen, I respect what people have to say. Everybody has their own journey in politics. And, you know, that's a personal choice that you have to make. Just gave a very politically correct answer of, like, not taking a stand. And then 2 months later, he's at a Harris rally telling how much he loves her. Bullshit.
Kash has been on my show, like, straight up promising it. I mean, I talk to these members of Congress and senators on my program all the time, talking about how there is there's a structure inside of the federal government to protect the people on these lists. I mean, it's really remarkable, and it's because if the lists were to be exposed, you really would have a massive cratering of the structures that hold up American politics, because Bill Clinton is on these lists. He was on those flyers.
Oh, yeah.
But also so many celebrities that they depend on for endorsements and for donations. This is why Joe Biden, where was Joe Biden right before he dropped out? He was with George Clooney, right, in Hollywood. Julia Roberts, right, holding arms with him. They depend on that infrastructure, and so many careers would be ended. I mean, it really would be biblical. It'd be the atomization of so much.
It would.
Nerdrotic.com. Please subscribe. a name that's known so wide. But I wanted Fallout New Vegas in the Mojave Stride.